my name is Jill Campbell. I'm the Director of Product for Avatars and these Gen AI investments we're making for the metaverse. I'm here with Rad and Barrett, and we are here to talk to you about the Gen AI tools we're releasing to help you with world building. We're going to talk about the tools that we've released and that we have coming. We're going to show you how to use them, and then we're going to do a call to action and save some time for Q&A. But first, I have found that most of these sessions start off best when they have a hype video, so let's do ours. I got to meet two of the creators in that video, and I fully flipped out. And I'm super sorry for you that you saw my fully flip out energy. Those worlds were made with Gen AI as a creative partner, which is, of course, our vision for how the Gen AI tools will help you as creators, the heart and soul of Horizon, to create the amazing worlds that are in your imagination and bring them to life. So we are here to talk about the most comprehensive and integrated suite of Gen AI tools on the market that we have available for you. And we are going to talk about what we have, how to use them, and show them off. So earlier today, I'm hoping most of you caught Boz's keynote and Mark's keynote. So you got a sense for how we think about AI in the landscape of Horizon as this creative assistant that helps you take your words, turn them into worlds in minutes, not taking months. So with that as our vision, we want to walk you through how we think a great world comes together and what the tools are we built for those. We think of great worlds as having three components: the scene, the stuff that makes up the world itself, the characters that inhabit it, and then the logic that pulls it together into a cohesive experience. We have tools for all of these. So I'm going to start by talking to you about the tools for scenes. There's nothing in a world until you start to build the environment. So the first tool we have is environment generation. With environment generation, you give it a simple prompt, complex prompt, granular, LLM-generated prompt, whatever you want. And what you get is rich detail and color, 3D meshes, textures, and decomposable assets. So you can make it whatever kind of world you need it to be and whatever you need it to look like. Now that you have an environment, you're going to need more. You need it to have a sky and a mood. And to help set the sky and mood, we have skybox generation. It'll set the sky and the mood for you. Then to make the world, our designer taught me this great phrase, feel juicy. You want it to feel juicy by adding the sounds. We have two tools for that. The first will help you create the soundscape. That's the ambient audio generation tool. The second is the sound effects that you need for the world to come to life. That's sound effect generation. I am a huge fan of how simplistic our names are. Easy to remember. Do you want sound effects? You probably want to use sound effects generation. So finally, you can take those and you can make them truly your own with texture generation so that you can add your own bespoke look and feel to the things that it is creating. Now that we have an environment, we have a sky, we have some sounds, a bunch of stuff, we need objects to make the world complete. For that, we have mesh generation that we've just released. You can see the strawberries, what you can get from mesh generation right now. We love this one because it's powered by our industry-leading 3D creation model, asset generation. And over here, you see where we're taking the model and what we think we're going to be able to achieve with it in the not-too-distant future. I'm going to show this video of all the things you can create with mesh generation powered by asset generation. And you can see the diversity, the quality, the range of what's capable with this technology. Also, probably in here, you're seeing some characters. We'll talk about that next. Finally, you want the whole thing to feel cohesive. You want it to have your own bespoke set style. So for that, we have style reference. Style reference will let you generate, save, and reuse a style, both within the world itself and then across the worlds that you may be creating. Okay, so that's scenes, but that's just a painting until you bring it to life. The way you bring it to life is you put characters in it. As the avatar lady, this is a little bit my favorite part. So for characters, we've released a slew of tools in our NPC toolkit. That will help you create embodied and non-embodied, non-playable characters. And this video is going to walk you through some of the tools we've released for NPC Toolkit.
Please enter the text you'd like to listen to.
Yeah, man. What time?
Whoa, you're in. The party starts at Mars sunset, which is around 2047 Martian local time.
So you can see from that, you can create the bespoke character with our editing tools. You can give it a purpose and a backstory, and then bring the whole thing together with the voice that you choose for it. And now I've accosted multiple of you on this. My favorite, create an avatar using a prompt. We'll let you take a simple prompt and create a rich, detailed, complex, ready to rig, ready to run in Horizon avatar that you can use in your worlds. This one releases in just a few weeks to creators as a preview. And I'm super excited to see what people do with this. If you haven't played with it, go to our activation booth and give folks your prompt and see the avatars it creates and see them running with your own dance on them. The imagination it unleashes is incredible. Okay, so we have a scene, we have some characters. Now we need logic to tie the whole thing together. For logic, we think of that as the game mechanics, the layouts, the gameplay, the things that make it feel like a cohesive experience. So one of the first GenAI tools we released was TypeScript generation. TypeScript generation, you could create like a blob of TypeScript code to help you do things in your world, which actually had two interesting functions. One, helped you do the thing in your world, and also act as a tutorial for how to write great TypeScript. But the thing everybody's been waiting for, the thing that we've been most excited to get to you, is Creator Assistant. An AI assistant that actually helps you build the world you want to build. And not just a chatbot, but one that can help you with the mechanics of the world, connecting different tools to accelerate your building process and put objects in the world. So this video gives you a sense. We're going to prompt it. We're going to ask it to put a trampoline and put it into our game experience. Pretty powerful stuff. So Connect is at its best when we are telling and showing you how all this works. So I'm going to invite Barrett up to come first to show you how some of these tools work. And while he's coming up, we're going to play an example of the kinds of things you can create using these powerful tools. I killed your applause. I'm so sorry.
No,
Try again.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Jill. Awesome. Yeah, so as we watch these environments that we made using some of the tools that we're about to show you, these use a little bit more advanced versions of the tools that we're working on. But I'll demonstrate the version of the tools that we have available for you today. And I guess to start with, I'm Barrett. I've been making 3D worlds, games, things like that for over 30 years now. And generally, like, these kinds of environments, can take you a week or 2 weeks, even if you're very experienced with creating these things. And I think in about 10, 15 minutes, we're going to live create one of these worlds for you. Yeah, we can see it from there. So let's see. We can switch over. Yep, perfect. So here you see, this is the Horizon desktop editor. I've got a relatively empty scene. The only thing I did was I had dropped down you can find this environment gizmo here, and just drop that into your world. If you click on this, we have a little area here, so we can like type a prompt in. I just have this kind of like preset here, but we can, cabins in a fall forest. And then we're going to hit generate here. And as we know, like, generations take a little bit of time. But the cool thing is we got lots of stuff to generate, and we have lots of generators. And we can fire them all off and get them all going as we work here. So we got our environment generating. While we wait for that, it'll take a few minutes. Let's switch over here to one of the really important things, the sky. And let's generate maybe a golden, let's see, like a sky dome with golden hour clouds. Surrounded by distant mountains. Hopefully I spelled that right, but the cool thing, it doesn't matter. Sweet, so now you see we've got 2 generators going for us already. We've got our environment generator, our sky generator, and let's see here. Next, I think let's go over to and get some 3D models generating. Oh, perfect. We got our environment in here. So you can see this is just with the default sky. We've got cabins here. We've got paths. And in order to make it look a little better, I've got like just a simple light rig. It's just like 3 lights. We'll just drop that in. And then we will move to generating some assets. This is so let's see. For our environment, let's generate like a wood cutter's axe. And let's get that generating. And maybe let's also like get a wooden rocking chair. Trying to make like a nice little cozy world for Jill, Rad, and I to all hang out in afterwards here. And let's see here. Then, yeah, so we got those generating. We got some back already. So this version of Asset Gen, it will generate a picture for you first. And then from that picture, you can generate, oh, this one looks cool. Let's get a model of that going. And then while that goes, oh, I forgot to check on our SkyGen. Let's go check on our SkyGen. So you can preview it here. Oh, yeah, that's much better. Cool, so I'm gonna just save and apply that. That'll help our lighting here too. So we're just gonna move our lighting rig around here now that we've got a little bit of direction here. And rotate it around, perfect. And you can see the lighting all like updates at relatively real time. And, oh yeah, our axe. Whoa, that's a cool axe. Let's get that one. Sweet. So you can see already a few minutes in, we have our environment generated from our prompt with grass and trees and paths and buildings that you can actually go into. We also have our sky generated here. And we've got some meshes generated. I think we need some of that juiciness that Jill was talking about. So now I'm gonna switch over to ambient audio. And let's see here. Let's try some forest bird ambience. I don't need to type ambience, but like forest birds and wind in the trees. I could probably just type forest, but whatever's. Sweet, so while that generates, let's see, we got good, these are almost done. That'll be great. And then we can also switch over here to sound effects generation. And next we will work on a sound effect. Like I think maybe for our oh cool, we got our chair here, so that'll be good. Place this in the world in a little bit here. Save this one also. Sweet. And then we can drag our chair in here as soon as it's done processing. This little time thing means it's being saved. You can also share these to the assets library. You can share these with other people. You can group them. You can do everything you can do with normal assets here. So it's very nice. And let's see. Cool. Oh, awesome. We got our ambient sound effects back too. Let's see. Got some wind. Let's see, did we get some chirping birds in here at some point, hopefully? Oh, we got the wind. We got the wind. Oh, good. Okay, cool. My hearings, apparently. Okay, cool. So we'll save this. And sweet, now we'll generate some, let's generate some axe wood chopping sounds. We gotta make a campfire here, like Jill and I. We don't want to get cold, right? And let's generate those. And in the meantime, we got our rocking chair. This will be a great view. Yeah. Sweet. Perfect. Yeah, so see, as you can see, like you can manipulate these in all the same ways that you would normal assets, and so you can really build your scene. You know, like we definitely imagine like these tools are very much still made for keeping the creator in the loop. So they're a palette for you to like start with, especially the environment gen, and then you can add all these custom pieces, the mesh generations, all these other things. You can see here I've got some like campfire logs that I generated earlier that I'll like drag in here. Got all kinds of things, and so you can really like make these your own, make your own experiences. Let's see how the wood chopping turned out. Perfect. Sweet. That campfire is going to be ready. Yeah, I think I touched on everything. So like as you saw, like in I don't know how many minutes we're at, but like we went from a completely empty scene to having this like great palette, and now it's like fully playable. So here we go. Go in the house. Like you could add furniture in here. Probably should have had that rocking chair. We got these like paths. You got these like you can really explore your worlds. You can make really neat experiences, and we hope you all really enjoy these tools, and we're really excited to see all the worlds that you're going to make with these. I think with that, I'll turn it over to Rad, who's going to show you the characters and the logic. Thank you so much.
You hear the sound, the ambient sound? Yeah, that's a good ambience for my speech. Good. We're going to stick to that. We also did mic check really quickly, so I didn't have to do that. So I'm ready to start. Hello, everybody. I'm Rad. I'm from Generative team, and I'm going to be talking to you about characters and logic right now. So I've been making video games for about 2 decades right now professionally. In my experience, character iteration and development and tying it with in-game logic, one of the biggest bottlenecks you can have in a project these days. Because like when we're thinking about characters and in-game logic and the interaction that happens there, we're talking about concept art, modelers, animators, skinning, rigging, writing dialogue lines, hiring actors and recording them. Depending on the quality and the size of the organization you're working with, you're looking at between days or even weeks between any single iteration. And there's not really a good way around it until now. So this is how we approach the problem at Meta. So what you see on the screen is where we started. At the beginning of this year, we shipped to you scripted NPC framework. So in that mode, I can spawn a style to meta avatar NPC like you see on the screen. And I can write a simple script that allows me to control that NPC. In this particular case, I can make my NPC follow me around. I have another option here, so let me just like click on properties here. I can have it lead me towards the objective. So it's going to try to go towards the objective, but when it notices that I'm too far away, it's going to wait for me, so I can build a logic like that, but let's go back to following. Generally, in this mode, our NPC is able to be scripted the same way as players are scripted in our world. So whatever our players can do in Horizon Worlds, NPCs can do. We shipped it at the beginning of the year. Done deal. Let's not talk about it anymore. Let's talk about what we bring to you in the past couple of days and the big level up of this feature, as I would like to call it. So what I can do right now is, like, with our NPC toolkit, we also shipped large language model-based conversation mode. We shipped runtime speech, and we shipped world and scene awareness tools, so you can add world and scene awareness to your NPCs. The way it works is I can go into my character builder, I click my character description, and I type in my backstory. In this particular case, we are working with an evil genius in order to obtain a shrink gun that is broken, repair it, and then use it to take over the world with my evil genius. I can go in voice and speech and choose the voice, but I already presetted the character for us. So this is the character that I built, Dr. X. And now I can do this.
A new partner in crime walks into my lair. Greetings, future ruler of the world. I am Dr. X. Are you ready to discuss our path to global conquest?
And I can speak to this NPC using my regular voice. However, this auditory setting isn't like perfect for demonstrating this sort of stuff. But just so it's out there, the greetings that you've heard, I have also heard for the first time. Because I do not control what really NPC is talking. I'm setting up my NPC's backstory and giving it a prompt. Hey, this is what I want you to do. So on my button press, I can press a button and say, just greet me
again. A worthy ally enters my secret lair.
And another button, I can say, just be quiet for a moment. So if you know I have controls over this sort of behavior on the NPC on the buttons, as world creators, you know that you can then assign the same functionality to a trigger. So I exactly did that. And here I have my shrink gun. It has a tiny little trigger here that I cannot click on this tiny screen right now, but just give me 1 second. There we go. So I added my own script here. I called it object of interest, but this is a script that you guys can write that talks to our API in the backend. And it's pretty much doing the same thing. Whenever you enter the trigger, it sends the same command that I just showed you sending from my button press. So once I have that and use those tools, I can show you a full sequence of how I want my interaction with Dr. X to go. So I approach my shrink gun, pick it up.
You're holding the shrink gun, my most prized invention. I'm impressed you found it. However, as you may have noticed, it's not functioning properly. That's because the data pod containing the crucial software is missing from its slot. But don't worry, I believe the data pod was dropped nearby, likely on the road just next to where you picked up the gun. If we can retrieve that pod and insert it into the gun...
Okay, Doctor, we're good. We know the gist, retrieve the data pod. So how did my doctor know where the data pod is? It told me that it's specifically next to a road, next to us. It's looking for a data pod. Like, how did it happen? Well, I told it to. In my prompt, I'm telling you, hey, this shrink gun is still not operational. Tell the player that it's not operational and it needs a data pod. Then look around the scene to find a data pod. And if you look around the scene, an NPC can do that too and check the objects that are present on the scene, it noticed that there is a floating data pod here that I've marked as this is the data pod that is supposed to fix the shrink gun. And now if I enter that...
Brilliant work. Partner, you've retrieved the data chip. I'll just insert it into the shrink gun slot. And voila, our masterpiece is now fully operational. Excitedly happy.
Okay, done. So now, what we can do is we can test the shrink gun.
Unbelievable. You've managed to misuse the most brilliant invention of our time. The shrink gun's malfunction is clearly operator error. You must have triggered the reverse setting by accident. Now look at yourself. Miniature size isn't exactly the dominant pose I envisioned for my partner. Foolish mistake on your part. Fortunate escape for you. I was rather looking forward to using a miniature version of you as my ultimate spy.
So what happened here? It's the same technique. It's just a different context. Instead of launching it from the trigger, I launched it from a script that is operating my shrink gun, which we all did like 1 million times and wrote like scripts like that. Or we can now use AI to write scripts like that for us, which I'm going to show in a second. But what happened here is that I just used those elements, and I prompted the NPC, player misused the shrink gun. You do not think this is your fault. You are absolutely certain that this is the fault of the player. You must make sure to tell the player that it's his fault. That was the reason why I got that little spiel from Doctor at the very beginning. And then when I grew back, the prompt was, you are annoyed at the player that they grew back. You were hoping for shrink gun effect to be permanent, but since it wasn't permanent, you cannot use mini player as a part of your infiltration tool mechanism that you're going to do in the future. And that's what happened. And you know what's the best part? I'm going to change my Dr. X character to anyone else. I'm going to change his backstory, but keep the prompts on the props that I have here. I'm going to play the same story instead of with evil genius, with a friendly robot that is helping me along the way, or an elven princess that somehow stumbled in this beautiful science fiction world that Barrett and his team generated for us. So that's how quickly I can incorporate NPC into my storytelling, tie it to my mechanics, and have a pretty compelling sequence that I've built for you guys on the difficult environment with live audience right now in let's say, 3 to 5 minutes. But wait, there's more. Oh, by the way, very important. This is available to you today. This is what you can do. Go home, turn on desktop editor, use the tools that I just showed you, and do the exact thing with your NPCs in Horizon Desktop Editor today. You know what's also awesome that you can do today? Well, you probably noticed that I just kind of pulled this collectible out of here, and it just happened to be here, so I have this collectible that is just rotating. So let's talk about the logic part that Jill touched on, and let's see if we can make a collectible like that. So I have another one here. I'm going to make it visible. I'm going to hide gizmos so we can all see it better. But you see that my world simulation is on, the object is not moving. Generally speaking, it's just a mesh that I generated, dropped it down on the scene. I'm like, I want to make it a collectible. So what do? I go to my GenAI panel, and I ask my friendly assistant via Control-V, or Windows V, make this object rotate. Oh, my bad. Let me just stop you. Stop. This one. I have to click the object so that AI doesn't have any trouble recognize which object I'm talking about, because there are plenty of objects here. But let's try it again. So what's happening right now is I asked my AI assistant for a favor. Just deal with that problem for me. Make this object rotate and bob up and down for me, because that's kind of what I want my collectible to be able to do. And this is a very similar pipeline that we have with a lot of different AI assistants. But this one specifically is designed and trained to work in Horizon World. And before I'm going to tell you more, I'm just going to launch another iteration of that just so that it's happening in the background as we're speaking. And in this particular case, I'm going to ask it to scale object up and down by 30%. So what I want to tell you is the agent already told you what it's done. So what it's done in this particular case was an easy task. First of all, it read my scripts. It learned my scripts. It realized that rotate and bob up and down script exists already in my script database. And it does, right? You all saw a collectible before that was rotating up and down that was supplied by that script. So the agent is like, that's easy. I'm just going to attach that script, set up the parameters that I think make sense, and run it. Go. But with this one, I'm asking it for something a little bit more sophisticated. So now I asked my agent to do something that did not exist in any of the script that I had before. And I'm curious to see, and we'll see how it's going to be happening live, or if not, skip to the next section. But in theory right now, the agent is analyzing the problem and trying to figure out, OK, what's the best way for me to approach this problem? In the previous set, it was find the script and just add it here. Here it's saying, OK, I found a script that already kind of makes sense, but it needs some modification to include scaling functionality. And it did some modifications, and it's scaling stuff fairly rapidly right now. However, when working with an AI, this is a conversation. So what I can do right now is I can refine the process and be like, OK, it's scaling up and down too quickly. But I just want to check, because I have a gut feeling. I have this thing called scale speed that the script automatically just added for me. It's 5. Let's see what's going to happen if it's 5. I'm seeing it for the first time, too. So see, so the parameter 5 for the scaling speed that our AI assistant decided by default was tad too quick, but it gave me a parameter. It already wrote it in a proper technique that the coder would write it. Like, we don't want any hard-coded values. We want parameters that designs can edit and change in real time. And our agent just did that for us. And it all happens in background. So the way I'm working with it is like, I'm just like, agent, solve that problem for me, solve that problem for me, solve that problem for me. I'm dealing with something serious and really heavy engineering right here. And I'm spending my time there while my agent is doing all the other side tasks for me. It's absolutely fantastic. Now, we talked about today, right? Characters, logic, we talked about voice changing, backstories, bunch of stuff. Let's talk about tomorrow. So tomorrow, or couple weeks from now, as Jill indicated, we have a bunch of new stuff coming to you. So right now, today, if we want to change the way our avatar visuals look like, you have option to go into edit avatar panel that will open the typical avatar editing panel where you can change the presets of your avatar, and that's your NPC. However, in the future, this is going to be a very interesting screen. It's called Avatar, and it uses our character generation AI in order to build avatars for you. I have two options that I can use here. I can use Meta Avatars option, which goes through the catalog of every clothing, accessory, body type, customization option that we have available for Meta Avatars, and figures out the best config that they can use for the prompt that I asked it for. So in this particular case, bulky, medieval warrior, bald, long black beard, Ray-Ban glasses. And I can click Assign to NPC, and it's magic. It's just magic. It's just happens to just spawn an NPC wearing Ray-Ban glasses, medieval warrior with bulky beard. I have it. Immediately on the scene, I can iterate with it, I can set my voice, I can tie it to the same exact minigame that I just done with you with the shrink gun. But wait, there's more. I can also use this icon here called Meta AI. And what does it do? With Meta AI, we are not generating avatars using meta avatars. We're building a brand new character from scratch. So we're launching mesh generation, automatic skinning, automatic rigging. It automatically gets a skeleton that is compatible with all the animation sets that we currently have in Horizon for players and for NPCs. The process is more involved. Generating meta avatars, so the previous one that I showed you, is around 30 seconds per iteration. So I tend to just rapidly launch a bunch of them off just to fish for ideas, or if I want a nice humanoid, like, this is great. This one is a little bit more involved. It takes around 3 to 4 minutes per iteration, depending on complexity of what you're working with. But I can launch multiple of those in parallel. But the way it works, it first gives me draft images of certain characters that I have, then ends up generating a mesh for set images, like this. And again, I can click Assign to NPC, and I have a green check mark, which is a great sign, and it worked. And again, I can do the same thing. I can have this avatar be tied to my story from the very beginning. And just to make it fun, let me show you some of the other ones that I generated and my team generated, just so that we can all enjoy. Hazmat Hank, who was generated
Good day,
to have
just Rad. I've been
hazmat
exploring some
suit and
treacherous
be
terrain
on an
lately,
alien
but it's
planet.
great to take a break and meet you. What brings you to this
Okay,
corner?
shh. We have Iliad Ironhorn.
Just Rad. It's lovely to meet you. I've been spending time with the alien pods lately, and I just can barely tear myself away from them. They're so fascinating.
I love how optimistic he is, and he's just like calling me, "Hi, Just Rad." It's just awesome. And I also have this little robot here called Patches. This is like similar to the generation that I just showed you. I personally am a robot guy, so I just generate robots. I love incorporating them in every game that I work with. But yeah, this is NPC toolkit. These are characters. This is PTA avatars. This is style 2 generation. This is logic. This is LLM conversational controller and all the juicy bits that come with it. And it's all for you guys to build something awesome. Barrett, do you have something for us? We're going to do one more swap because we're confident like that.
Woo! Woo! So, sorry, Rad. I've been working on our cozy environment here,
The military base, yeah, the one that we talked about. Yeah.
Well, I kept going with the cozy one. So I got the 3 chairs. For
Yeah,
us
and then
here.
into military base, as we talked.
But then I got a little like I don't know. I was kind of getting a little fun, and I got a little we kind of got a little problem here, like with the aliens invading. But it was just too much fun. And
so we now have aliens invading.
I just did this literally just while we were over here, and like.
All right, so now I have to change my character. I have to change my story. I have to rewrite all the dialogue lines. Like, it just cost me minutes. And scene, thank you very much. Let's go to Jill for closing words.
Boy, those guys can take a high-risk, high-reward approach to demos. I admire it. All right. So no good talk ends without a call to action. We have 3. First, if Rad didn't sell you on those tools, ain't nobody going to sell you on those tools. So please go download the World Desktop Editor. Start playing with it. Start playing with the GenAI tools, seeing what you can do with GenAI as your co-creator. Give us feedback. Tell us what you want to see in them. Tell us where you want us to take them. Second, join the Meta Horizon Creator Program. Same deal. You'll get early access to things through our creator previews. You might want that because of creating an avatar from a prompt. And third, if you have not played with the activation booth in the Horizon Lounge, go play with the prompt avatar stuff. It is delightful. Come find me on campus and show me what you've made. And I encourage you to do your coolest dance, because they will apply that cool dance to your avatar and make the whole thing sing. With that, we have 6 whole minutes for questions. Feel like we crushed. 2 mics. First person, I'm not allowed to call on you till you're at a mic, it turns out, because I won't be able to hear you. So 2 mics, head there. In the front row, we have a panoply of experts from the team, so I may bring them in or up to answer questions. Sir, what's up?
I just had a question about the NPCs. Are we going to be able to toggle on and off the name tags to make it more immersive?
Yes, so we have certain visualizations like going. This is, again, not something that we necessarily have in your hands just now, but we're like looking towards like what do we do with name tags. Right now, we try to make name tags consistent with the players. That's why you see them the same way, and we try to add additional layer where it's easy for people to recognize what's an AI and what's not an AI, which we feel is like a very important trait of that. But we are exploring all the options to give you customizations, maybe on the name tags that you're working with, or being able to build more immersive ones. But more about that in the future. We're not really talking about it yet.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, hello. I have a question regarding avatars, and do they have PBR materials? Or what is the goal on that?
That's a great question that I am not equipped to answer,
Mike
maybe.
knows. Mike, what's the answer?
So the stylized avatars have got null maps and roughness maps as well as the diffuse. I think the mesh generation right now, we are working on the additional textures, and right now it's just diffuse map.
All right, and I have another question. Is it possible to download those avatars? Eventually, for example, to use them in a CGI video to promote the game before it launches?
What do you mean by double loading?
Hang on,
Downloading.
hang on.
Downloading.
Felix, can you go chat with your new best friend about features that you're going to put in that product? So I feel you have a feature request, and you should talk to Felix. Yes, sir.
One for each of you. For the environmental generator, there was an option for it to be an island generator. When can we expect like a town or other options?
Yes, we're working on that, and I'm not sure if we're ready to make any announcements about those. We definitely have a bunch more on our roadmap for those. As you saw with the videos, like we were generating all of those with upcoming versions of our environment generator.
Okay, and one for Rad, for the NPCs. Will we ever be able to swap out their clothing for those NPCs?
So that depends, right? Like right now, you have 2 pipelines. So if you're using the meta avatar pipeline, to which all the clothing was by definition made compatible because it's supposed to work with players, 100%, right? Like it's fairly easy to do. So you can also pre-generate a different configs and reattach a different config to a certain avatar if you want to do this swap quickly. Easy. When it comes to the ones that are mesh generated, you can understand that this problem becomes far more complex because we don't know if a jacket is already part of the mesh that was generated or jacket this additional article of clothing. We don't have any announcements in that space, but we definitely are interested in how we can solve that problem to get custom clothing on every avatar that we have.
Thank you. Awesome stuff, guys. If I remember correctly, there will also be an MCP server. When is that coming? And how is that going to work?
We are not the team to ask that question, I think, MCP server.
Oh, I thought there was an MCP integration on top of that.
I think that was in Sam's keynote this morning, and so while you have a panoply of experts, they're not those experts. Devraj?
Sorry.
No.
But it would be cool.
You know what? We're helpful. We provide customer service here. Devraj will help you find the person that knows the answer to that, so find him afterwards. Sir.
I had two questions, but one was stolen by this guy. So my other one is sort of like a request and a question. Horizon World is only available in a handful of countries, and GenAI is only available in even less countries. Please make this available worldwide because there's developers who are not in the US.
Heard.
Thank you.
Heard. Request heard. Awesome. Friend.
Yeah, I was just inquiring about the scripting capabilities of GenAI. I would like to ask, what are your thoughts on the capabilities of external tools like Claude Code versus the purpose-built scripting AI that you have? And then, for example, when the MCP server later is released, that maybe Claude Code, Cursor, etc., could get on par with the internally built tools?
That's an interesting question. So I don't necessarily want to draw comparisons between Cloud Code and what we have on our side. I can tell you some benefits that I definitely see from our AI agent that obviously Cloud Code or any other third-party development suite would not have. Is, to me, the power of our AI agent comes mostly from the fact that, A, it was trained on TypeScript written code specifically for Horizon Worlds. So it respects all those weird things that you sometimes have to do in Horizon Worlds in order to make it work. So it's trained on the same data that you guys are building every day. So that's a huge benefit. And it knows how to do everything in Horizon World, which makes this process very automatic. So in my projects, I'm using our assistant, if anything, just for those two capabilities for sure.
And we've also got like usage limits. So is it realistic to be hitting the usage limits? Are there usage limits? And in those cases, would it be viable to use other tools?
I am not sure if I can answer that question right now about usage limits. Do we have a crowd who feels capable? Igor?
Yeah, so it comes down to, if you're talking about specifically code gen capabilities, it comes down to load. So if there is availability on the server, we will take that request. Otherwise, we will delay those requests. If we're talking about PTA specifically, you can do one PTA generation at a time.
OK, so essentially, it's infinite code generation. You'll just stand in a queue instead.
As long as you join our development tools and build in our development tools, we got you.
Thank you very much.
We crushed. We got 7 questions in 6 minutes, but team is here, so fear not. Come over, see the panel of experts. We will answer your questions offline. Creators are the heart and soul of Horizon. We can't wait to see what you can do with GenAI as your creative assistant. Come hit us up with your ideas, your questions, and your thoughts. And thank you all. We appreciate you.